Okay. I didn't really want to do this, but I'm like, now, just a second ago, what the fuck? I just want to address what happened on Sunday in the stream of Mr. You Smells Good. Yeah, Eugene. Well, I just thought you should hear it from me, you who follow me. God forbid you should hear the version of Eugene and his fellow perfume snobs. Yeah, I don't mean no disrespect, but they are. That's what they are. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, he can be alright. He can be even sometimes fun to talk to, on his streams when he's in a good mood, when he's in the right mood, right? But on Sunday he obviously wasn't for some reason, even though everything started very well. Everything started as usual. Relaxed, talking, laughs, this and that. And then, he really started talking about some kind of perfume, I don't know, something by Little Labo. And I'm not really familiar with that house and stuff, but anyway, and then, I kind of made a joke, about trying to steer the conversation from fragrance talk, and he took it very wrong, the wrong way, and got all, alpha on me, like, yeah, you gotta be careful, this is a fragrance stream, or you gotta, be careful or you can disappear from here and stuff like that. And I'm like, what the heck? What's the matter with him? What's going on here? I mean, I clearly said I was joking because I had that smiley, their laughing smiley. So I'm like, well, then I write, I'm just kidding, really, I'm breaking balls. And then I saw he wasn't really reading that. He didn't read that. He didn't go, okay, boss, no problem, no problem. I didn't know you were joking. It's so cool. He didn't read that. He didn't read any of the next messages I posted in the chat. And I knew, what time it was. I knew what time it was, as they say where I come from. And I'm like, okay, fuck this, I'm out of here. Yeah, I did go out actually of the chat, but then something in me was like, started feeling really pissed, and I'm like, hey, he's treating me like some troll because of a joke, he didn't like my joke, and so I was like, fuck that, and then I come back to the chat and I write, like, oh, you know what, now you're not gonna read my messages, thought you were 50 years old, I mean, implying, aren't you supposed to be a little more mature than that? And then he went, oh, yeah, like, sour, and yeah, you can see what happened. I mean, if you watch that stream, I think it's still up. He said I was behaving like a child. I mean, now you know what happened. So tell me, which one of us was really, really behaving like a child? The guy who wouldn't read my comments because of a joke, because he got pissed off and was, oh, this is my stream, you cannot say that, and stuff like that, So was it him or was it me who simply got a little too mad and, wrote something in response to his behavior? I gotta call out bad behavior when I see it, right, people? I gotta call out bad behavior. So yeah, now, I mean, and then the next day he had a stream again, and he was like, instead of trying to tone it down, saying, well, maybe, I took it a little too wrong, I mean, maybe I overreacted a bit and stuff, and, I'm alright, everything's cool, boss is, a body, and he says something like, he's welcome here, but there's always that but. But he implies that I had a problem and took it to his stream. He says leave it at home, and so instead of acting like a kind of diplomat, and saying, let's forget this, it was just nonsense, he's like, riding on his high horse and saying, well, he's welcome here, but he should, behave. He should not take his problems to the chat. And I mean, now I wanna curse, so I better not. So yeah, this is a clear case. Let me tell you, I didn't like him at all before. Because why? When I started going to his streams, he was always like, he barely acknowledged me there. He'd just say hello, and then sometimes he would behave like he was he was my father or something. Even that really pissed me off. Patronizing, and okay, he's a pretentious guy, but okay, I get it. You wanna be serious and talk about serious fragrances, as you call it. All right, it's your right. But when you start behaving like that, first we were all friends and joking and laughing, and then suddenly one day it's like, oh no, you cannot joke like that. No, sorry, boss, you cannot do that. So yeah, I said before, I don't see the point in these streams. Yeah, everybody's right to do whatever the fuck they want, but these streams have never been my thing. Where people talk, oh yeah, that Santal 33, I like better that other formulation. The old formulation is better, and blah blah blah, and yeah, reformulation, yeah. And I'm like, I mean, is this supposed to be educational or entertaining? Because I don't think it's neither. It's your personal opinions. It's their personal opinions. It's not a fact, right? But yeah, I mean, these people are so damn boring, and the thanks I get when I go there and try to make their streams, their chats, and we're a little more fun, is this, is this kind of attitude, You gotta go. There is no joking here, there is joking, but there can only be so and so much joking, or that kind of jokes. So that's the fucking attitude of this guy and everybody. So yeah, I'm just happy because now I can also, stop going to the streams of the last guy that belongs to the trio, of fragrance. I don't know even how to call them, like the wise guys of Fracom, like guys who think they know better than everybody else. So another thing, yeah, he has actually laughed off or made fun of certain fragrances that I said I liked, sorry, and all based on his own taste, own opinions. So how professional is that? And the man keeps talking about God and religion and this and that. And fuck, man, I mean, are you a fragrance guy, or are you is this a fragrance stream, or this is a faith stream, religious stream? So make up your mind, mister. So yeah. No, this is not I'm not gonna be anymore there on his streams. Take my word for it. Unless he apologizes, we will never make up. For sure. So yeah, when you behave like that and then you later on you don't take it back, Because you think he's got such a huge ego. He thinks he's always right in a fight, right? He's always right. How can he be wrong? Mr. Yeah, Mr. Honky, 6'4". I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Who are you? Just another name. Just another asshole who thinks he knows everything. Who thinks his taste is better than everybody else's. Well, better than the guys who don't have the same taste as he does. So yeah, it's just very. These guys are toxic, but in a very special way. They are toxic in a smug way. They are very smug. They are smug. And I had enough of that bullshit. It's just bullshit. I had so much aggravation over the last couple of years, being timed out on streams and banned and said I'm not welcome, told I'm not to come anymore. But now, karma is a bitch, See what has happened with these people. I don't have to say anymore. But I will say it if you want me to. Like, their personal lives are a mess. So isn't it kind of hypocritical when they try to kind of lecture other people on how they should be living? So that's what this guy does. So yeah. So take a good look in the mirror, buddy. You are not a poster boy for anything.